Let's get sweaty.
Hey guys, welcome to a Shenmue Dojo video. Today's video we are finally unboxing Air Twister from Strictly Limited Games. This turned up today, so I'm obviously pleased it's here. One little point I guess I'm going to make is that I'm a little bit disappointed it's taken nearly 2.5 years for this to turn up. But I will say picking it up is very, very heavy. So that bodes well, I guess. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to compare it to the Japanese collector's edition that you can see here, which I unboxed in a video, must be over a year ago now. We're going to compare it, see what we think, and see potentially what is the better version. So, okay, there we go, let's get started. And also, actually, before I do, I got the little art card here, which I think is pretty cool. Print-wise, it's nice. I do think it's a little bit pixelated in parts and sort of a bit washed out, but it's very, very sturdy. And actually, the postcard they give you, I think the print quality is much nicer. So that's just a little side point there, I guess. Let's pop those out of the way. Right, so let's open this up. So, okay, used to this still. In true Shenmue Dojo fashion, let's see if I end up having to fight with packaging. Hopefully not, but I will work out where it's to be open. I am impressed how heavy it is, though. I will say that. I think we're actually in fairly easily here. Yes, we are. So let's get that through here. Let's just pull this apart. Yeah, there we go. Actually, very easy to open. So I'm not fighting with packaging in this video, right? I'm sure people are going to be upset by that. So it's a slipcase by the looks of it. So let's slide the top off here. Yeah, so you can see the front. It's the artwork on the front there. Which is different to the artwork on this one, which hopefully you can sort of see very well there. The cameras, there we go, a bit better there. Print quality wise, I think they're probably much of a muchness looking at them. I think I prefer this artwork, but that's just a very minor sort of preference to it. But anyway, see how we go. So again, you open up the box, and it's quite a nice, sturdy, well-made box there, actually. Different artwork on the front there as well. See the side there, and then the back. So it's like one whole piece of artwork there, which is pretty nice and pretty cool. So how do we open you up is the question. So let's have a look. I don't want to break anything. Does it slide out, or does it slide open? That is the question here. How do we open you? Ooh. Ah, there. Oh, it's magnetic. Right. Okay, that's cool. So just on here, so clearly I'm an idiot. That is magnetic. So it just folds open like so. So the first thing we're going to do is take the game out itself. So I've got the PS5 version here. So it's the same artwork as before. And then you can see, just for comparative, there is the artwork on the Japanese Nintendo Switch version. So that might be also a little bit why the box sizes are different, potentially. But yeah, and then if you look on the back, you've got the little blurb, Strictly Limited, and everything else on there as well. Some screenshots and everything there. So let's pop you down on that. And let's get rid of this little bit of cardboard. I have to say, it was shipped very well and very well packaged. Now I've got to get the thing out. Right, here we are. So now we're into the sort of the nitty-gritty stuff. So the first item that's come out is a print of Princess Arch. You can see that just there. Now it isn't hand signed by Suzuki. I don't think. It doesn't look like it, but it's a nice print all the same. Comparatively, if I go into the Japanese edition, it's a slightly different print there as well. I actually prefer this one. I love the art. It's almost in that chibi style artwork. There's nothing particularly wrong with this one, I will say that, but I think this one looks better. I'd also argue that the signature is legitimate on that one, on the Japanese one, whereas that's a copy one. I could be very wrong, of course, of both, and they could both be the same, but it just, that signature looks better. But anyway, so we'll pop that out the way, nice bit of artwork to start. Let's open you back up. So next up we here have the Air Twister original soundtrack. So you can see on the front just there, just move that back so you can see it. Then on the back, and go in there like so. I'm not going to open it up just yet, the disc, because I think it's very similar to the old one. Just then looking on the back between the two, see if there's any difference in No, the track listing looks to be the same. Yes, it's exactly the same track listing. So in the Japanese version, which is this one, you have the same track listing there. What I will say is actually I think the print quality on this one, the new one, the strictly limited one, is slightly better than the one that came with the Japanese version. Just minorly, but I can tell from it. I just think the colour definition is a lot better. Next up, we then have a Yu Suzuki photo with his signature. Again, that is a print-on signature, but that's a better quality signature on there, actually. Hopefully you can see that, and the camera plays a bit, but if it doesn't, I can take some photos of it. And at the back there, you've got a hair twister there. Then in here, you've also got a Yu Suzuki biography. Now I've got to get my hands in to get this out without hopefully bending anything. So there we go. So you've got a big biography here of Yu Suzuki. Now I know somebody in the Discord sort of made a little bit of joke of the drawing on that. I don't mind it. It's a different style, and I think it's quite cool all the same. And it is literally a back to front of Yu Suzuki himself. So let's have a quick look at what we've got in here. So starting out, we've got a little bit of his sort of early history. So it talks all about that there. Then going through, you've got some early childhood photo there, which is pretty cool to see. Going through a bit more. His start on the video game industry at Sega in 1983. I might use this as some reference points in some videos, you know. Then, again, another nice little photo down there. So it's going through his early career at Sega. You can see another there. Oh, I like that. That's really cool. So Outrun was sort of noted as a career breakthrough. I like how they've laid that out. That looks cool. I like that. That's really good. And then you've got Space Harrier, just being a little bit talked about just there. I like this art book actually. I think it's a very nice quality sort of biography. You talk a little bit more about hardware, power drift. So I'm flicking through it a little bit because I don't want to show too much off. I want people to go and pick this up if you can. Nice photo there, looking like he's come out of Cobra Kai, but cool all the same. Virtua Racer. Yeah, I love Virtua Racer. What a game. This is quite a big book. Like, I think it's probably stretching... It must be over 70, 80 pages. So let's go through a little bit more. Virtua Fighter. I mean, you can't not, can you? Virtua Fighter has to be noted in there. Of course, Shenmue. You can't not have Yu Suzuki and Shenmue in there. That's really cool. I love that. And it actually goes across a couple of pages, and you can see him there signing something from Shenmue Premiere, I think, or a different event, all the same. It goes into a lot of depth with Shenmue here, actually, talking about the finances, the development process. Again, some more there. There's lots of in-depth on Shenmue. I think there's a print error there as well, actually. It mentions Shenmue 3 when talking about Shenmue 2 on page 39, if anybody wants to have a look at it. It is very in-depth. Again, there's another one on page 40 as a print error, and on 41. Oh, no, not on 41. But there is still a few print errors in there, so it's probably just worth noting that. Then talking about WiseNet, which is cool. And then it's got a little gameography in here as well. So it's got all the games that he worked on, which is insane, actually, the amount of games he's worked on. It hasn't got Steel Paws in here because obviously it hadn't been done at this point in time, but again, that's cool. And then you've got visual representations there of all the games that he worked on, which is, again, really great piece. And then at the back here, you've got a short interview with Yu Suzuki himself. I won't spoil it. Obviously, go and buy it, or we can have a look at it maybe in a podcast or something. But there's, again, an interview at the back talking about his career at Sega, Outrun, Shenmue, a little bit. I think, did I see something in here? Yeah. And then just sort of going through a bit more. Talks about traveling, going to China. And then going through a bit more of his life and history there. Does he still speak to people at Sega? And then a little bit more about some Shenmue bits and pieces. And then that is everything. And here you've got the credits the back there of the people that put this together. So you've got Dennis Mendel, who's obviously left, in Felix Wagner, who we interviewed. Heike Kaspers, again, we interviewed for Shenmue 3 Enhanced. Simon Krenkel, who we interviewed in 2023 at Gamescom Flagship, did that for us as well. He's no longer with the company either. There's a few that have definitely moved on. But again, I actually really like that. I think that's really good. There's a lot of good stuff in here. Really hefty, really hefty art book as well. So that's cool. And I guess in sort of compare our biography, in comparison, you've got a little bit. I've got a little bit in here, but it's much smaller. But cool all the same. And then what else do we have in here? Now we have a game book for Air Twister. So let's try and get you out. Let's pop the box out the way. There we go. So this is a hardback game book. It's in sealed up. We are going to open it up because I want to see what's inside it, frankly. So let's have a quick look with some scissors and get in here and see what we think. Again, so that everything off of there? Yes, it is. So real sort of nice hardback. If you think the Shenmue 3 Kickstarter sort of hardback art book, similar sort of feel to that from this. So open it up. So you've got a bit about the game. So you've got the game. Sort of going through it. You've got art of some of the levels. I'm just going to sort of show it off a little bit. I won't spoil it all. Some more art of the levels. Look at the contents, actually, see what it says there. So, weapon guide, stages, outro, hero character, and interview at the back. So let's have a look. There's loads of artwork of the stages. Yes, so for example, if you look at stage 12, the last stage, you've got a little bit there. And then you've got a breakdown of the level and what it's all about there as well. That's pretty cool. And then coming to the back of it, you've got the outro scene, which I've gladly seen, which is cool. Really like that. The outro is really good, actually. Then you've got a little bit about the design of the hero, Princess Arch, so how that's come to be. Maybe you can see that. And there's some more there. And then you've got an interview again with, I'm guessing, Yu Suzuki at the back there as well, which is quite a long interview, and it is, I think, all based on Air Twister itself. And then again, you've got the credits at the back, exactly the same as before, and the ending back there. That's really cool. Nice quality art book, that, and game book. Actually, I'm really impressed with it. I have to say, like, all sort of ranting aside about how long this thing's taken to bloody turn up in itself, I'm actually really impressed with the product itself. I know some of it, you go, oh, it's just an art book, it's just a CD soundtrack, some signed prints and everything. I will say the game book and the interview book are really good. The biography is really good. I really like that. I think that's a really good way forward. So I don't know whether they're listening or not at Strictly Limited or whatever, or in or whoever is dealing with Shenmue 3 Enhanced, if there's going to be a collector's edition. But if there is, I'd love a journey of something similar in terms of the development, some stories, something like that, on top of some nice new trinkety things. I keep saying mirrors. Mirrors would be amazing. I think that would be awesome, but we'll just have to see what happens there. So, Strictly Limited, whoever's dealing with it, whoever's doing whatever they are behind the scenes, please, for the love of God, a nice art book with a journey would be amazing. Showing the level, showing how things came together would be amazing for Shenmue 3 Enhanced. Some nice new style trinkety things. We've had loads of things like flipping sticker sheets and all the rest of it there. I'd love something new. So mirrors or something unique would be fantastic. Because actually the quality of this stuff has impressed me. So if the quality is as good, if they do a collector's edition, I think then we'd be on to something very nice. Now, this wasn't a huge amount of money, about £50-60, I think, all in, which is pretty good. And you can still get them now. I'll put the link in the YouTube description below if you want to pick up a copy of the Air Twister Strictly Limited Collector's Edition. Now, on balance, which do I think is better? I think the European version is much better. I think it's probably better made, better quality, and I think you get more for your money, which is great. It's just a shame it took so long to turn up. Anyway, I'm going to leave things there. Guys, thank you for sticking with me for this unboxing video and hopefully dealing with the camera issues just a tiny little bit. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and all the usual places you can find us. For £2 a month, you can be a member and get all these videos ahead of time. But don't worry if you don't. It all just sits on the Saturday scheduling system as normal, with all money going towards things like this to show off, competition prizes, and all the rest of it for your enjoyment as well. So thank you very much for enjoying this video, and I'll be back with another one in the not too distant future. For now, guys, take care, and I'll see you soon.